How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Unknown Capital. This week I got game week 4 predictions for the 2022-2023 season. It's going to be a very good couple of games, and let's get right into the video. So guys, let's start with the first game. So the first game we got Southampton against Man United, the early kickoff. So let's start with Southampton. What a game against Leicester City. And to go and beat Leicester City at home in the King Power Stadium is not easy. Yes, Leicester have been a bit poor this season and they've not signed anyone, which has really affected the team. But this is not Southampton's fault. And Southampton have done really well in the transfer market, as I said in my first video. I think they're going to sign 8 different players, 2 crucial players from Man City, 2 from the youth system, and to keep James Ward-Prowse, it's like a new signing on its own, because he's such a quality player, and I feel like he deserves to be in the top 10 teams or even the top 6 teams, and he's just a free kick merchant. So at the end of the day, Southampton are very well, and he really showed in that game where yes, they conceded the early goal, but they did really well to overcome it. And with Leicester, they've had this problem where they scored the early goal, but they always have a problem from stopping goals. And I feel like with Leicester, they need to start signing some defenders. But it's not Southampton's fault for Leicester being poor. So this game against Man United, Southampton could actually do some bits. But let's move to Man United. Finally, we got a win. Finally, we scored 2 goals from open play. What a game against Liverpool yesterday. The first goal from Jadon Sancho. Yes, you can say that the defending was a bit suspect from Virgil van Dijk, Jez Milner, Gomez. Elanga should have really scored. And I feel like it was an Eric Ten Hag masterclass, really. Yes, Liverpool don't have the best midfield at the end of the day. Yes, Thiago's injured, and yes, Fabinho didn't start. But it's not Man United fault, it's Jurgen Klopp. Every team has injuries at the end of the day, and they have to make sure they overcome this injury. So United played great, and I feel like this is the jump start which we need. And I feel like, yes, the last time we went away, we got smashed 4-0 against Brentford. But I feel like we can do the job against Southampton, because Southampton had the greatest start. What they got, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw from 3 games, which is not too bad. I feel like, but Man United, if they want any hope of getting top 4, they need to win this game in Southampton. So my score prediction for this game, I'm going to go 2-1 Man United. So guys, moving on to the next game, we got Chelsea against Leicester City. So let's start with Chelsea. Chelsea's game against Leeds was just so confusing. And yes, Thomas Tuchel was a bit naive in that game. He played so many players out of position, and I was just thinking, what's going on? And now, to make matters worse, Koulibaly's got sent off. So who's going to play in the centre back position? Is it going to be Cesar? It's probably going to be. And this game against Leicester City, both teams need to win this game, because yes, Chelsea had a relatively good start to beat Everton, but the next game it was very controversial against Tottenham, and they're losing against Leeds. So if they want any chance of getting top 4 or even top 6, they need to make sure they actually play the players in the right position and actually get wins like this, where Leeds are not the greatest team, but you need to be you have to be beating Leeds, in my opinion. Like, it's been absolutely shambolic from most of the Chelsea team. But even I can say that with Leicester. Like, Leicester, they were beating Brentford 2-0. They're going to concede 2 goals in rapid fashion. Disgusting. And then, okay, Arsenal's understandable, but they conceded so many goals against Arsenal. And Leicester, for a team which I thought are defensively relatively good defensively, they didn't do great in that game as well. So my score prediction is going to be 2-1 Chelsea. Guys, let's move on to the next game. So the next game we got Brighton against Leeds United. And let's start with Brighton. What a start to the season. The first game they beat Man United 2-1. Then the second game they had a very good game against Newcastle, where they should have won. Nick Pope basically saved Newcastle in that game. He could have saved the Titanic, to be fair. Nothing was getting past him. So I feel like Brighton dominated that game. And the third game, to go and beat West Ham in convincing fashion, you have to give props where props are due for Graham Potter. Like, this man has absolutely revolutionized Brighton. Brighton, like a couple of seasons ago, before he came in, was like a relegation club, was like a bottom 15 club. But after he's come in, last year I believe they got top 10. This year they could easily get top 8, and next year they could be in the Europa League or Conference League easily. But the only thing with Brighton, they need to make sure that they don't let go of points where they shouldn't, because when they come against the top 6, yes, United are not part of the top 6, they might lose. So they're going to drop points there. But when they're facing top 8, top 10, 15th, 20th position, they need to be winning. And I feel like this game against Leeds is a must-win for them, because if they want to really show how good they are and carry on the season, Brighton just beat West Ham, I believe, 2-0. Leeds just beat Chelsea 3-0. So my score prediction, I'm going to go with Brighton. I think Brighton are going to win this game 3-1. So guys, the next game is Man City against Crystal Palace. And with Man City, what a game against Newcastle. I feel like with Man City, when they were 3-1 down, I thought it was lights out for Man City, and everyone did. But Man City showed why they're the best team in the Premier League. They didn't panic at all. They carried on playing the game, and at the end of the day, they got a 3-3 draw. And I feel like coming out St. James's Park, that's a very good result. And I feel like they will beat Crystal Palace in this game. As much as Crystal Palace have had a great start to the season, and I feel like with Crystal Palace, the game against Arsenal, they actually had chances. Everyone said, oh, Zaha put Ben White put Zaha in his pocket. But I don't think that happened. They still had the chances, but they just got unlucky. And then to go again as at Anfield and actually get a 1-1 draw, where should have been actually a 2-1 victory to Palace, but actually to go and win against Aston Villa. Yes, Aston Villa have not had the best start of the season, but I feel like Palace will score, but Man City will just use that, like the score advantage to the advantage. So my score prediction for this game is going to be 3-2 Man City. The next game we have is Liverpool against Bournemouth, and with Liverpool this is a must-win game. They haven't registered a win this season yet. In the first game they drew, the second game they drew, the third game is Man United they lost. And if any Liverpool fan comes from Man United, how shit we are, register a fucking win, then we will talk. But with Liverpool, the game is Man United, they were poor. Yes, Liverpool have Darwin Núñez suspended, the midfield is not the best, but every team has to overcome these issues, and you can't use this as a reason why you lost. The defending from Liverpool was pretty poor, and United struggled to score from open play. But it was, I feel like at the end of the day, it was an Everton masterclass. We utilized the counter-attack really well, and Liverpool's high press is not working as once it used to. But let's move on to Bournemouth. The first game of the season was very good. They got the win, but after that it's been a bit downhill. To go and lose against Man City 4-0 and to go and lose against Arsenal 3-0. Both teams are pretty much title league contenders or top 4 contenders at this point. So lose against them for Bournemouth is not the worst thing to happen. But with Bournemouth, this could be actually a decent game against Liverpool, because Liverpool have struggled, and right now Bournemouth have actually registered a win, and I feel like Bournemouth can actually do bits, but I feel like Bournemouth away, Scott Parker's men cannot really do it away. I feel like they probably will register most of the wins at home this year. So I feel like Liverpool will win this game, but it'll be a very, very tough game for them. So I'm going to say 1-0 Liverpool. Guys, the next game I have is Brentford against Everton. And let's start with Brentford. It's been a decent start to the season. They got 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. And the game against Fulham, they should have actually got a point. But Fulham just showed a bit more quality than Brentford and got the victory at the end of the day. But this safety is not guaranteed at this point. Yes, he might have a good start to the season, but imagine Brentford get a couple of injuries. They don't have the best in-depth squad, so it could go wrong. So they should have really drew that game. And I feel like with Brentford against Everton, they need to put the pressure from Everton from minute 1. I feel like how they did against Man United, they need to do that, because with Everton, the more possession you give them, the more the more they get confident and they get into the game. But with Everton, if you keep all the ball and if you keep on passing the ball around and really press them, Everton are not really built that way to absolutely overcome that. They can't really play the ball out from the back. Their system is not the greatest. It's not easy. So if it was Brentford, from minute 1, you need to start attacking Everton. But with Everton, they've not had the best start of the season, but a lot of people expected that. They've taken the right steps, they've signed a couple of players, they've signed Connor Cody, James Tarkowski, but they still, Dominic Calvert-Lewin keeps on getting injured. They need to sign maybe a forward to help them, so it's going to be a very tough game for Everton. I feel like with Everton, they need to make sure they get the possession of the ball. Score prediction, I'm going to go Brentford's going to win this. I'm going to go 3-1 Brentford. So the last game on Saturday, we got Arsenal against Fulham. And with Arsenal, they're perfect 3 from 3. I don't have to explain a lot. Mikel Arteta and the men have just set up really well. The first game winning 2-0, the second game dominating 4-2, the third game winning 3-0. Chalobah's goal, nice all-one circle finesse. And I feel like also carry on this run, they could easily win the league, or they could easily get top 4. And I feel like, what else do I have to say? Mikel Arteta's job was in the mud the end of last year, but this year he's actually pretty much got all the right signings, the right investment. Yes, they've dropped a decent amount of money, but at the end of the day, if a team wants to be good and if they want to make a push in the Premier League, money talks at the end of the day. And Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko is worth every single penny right now. Zinchenko is so good on the ball, and Gabriel Jesus always gets in the right positions. And this furthermore helps the likes of Saka, Odegaard, literally most of Arsenal's team. But let's move on with Fulham. Fulham have actually had a very good start to the season. Liverpool, they showed so much art where everyone thought Liverpool were going to dominate them, but to get the 2-2 draw. In the second game, they showed really won against Wolves. Yes, it was a 0-0 draw, but Mitrovic missed the penalty. But in the third game, he redeemed himself where they got a very, very good victory against Brentford. And Brentford just came off winning a game against Man United 4-0, so they probably got one of the best Brentfords to be out there. And to go and beat them 3-2, yes, they conceded 2 goals, but I feel like it's going to be a close game. So I'm going to say Arsenal going to win this game 2-1. So guys, moving on to the next game, we've got Wolves against Newcastle. And with Wolves, they had a decent game with Tottenham. I feel like they really exposed Tottenham for being a one-trick pony. And like, they really exposed Antonio Conte and his men for being very one trick. And they didn't really have that many chances in my opinion. Tottenham really struggled in that game. And I feel like Wolves had more possession in that game. They had 51% possession, more shots on target. And I feel like what really got Tottenham over the line was they got a moment of brilliance from Ivan Perisic with a nice cross. And I feel like Wolves switched off and allowed Harry Kane in the back post to head the ball in or to shoot the ball in. And I feel like Wolves could have really come out of the game with a draw. But right now, it's not been the best start to the season for Wolves. Like they've signed a player from Portugal to really help them. Like Wolves is basically Portuguese FC in my opinion anyway. With Newcastle, they've had a great start to the season. The first game they beat Nottingham Forest, and the second game, it was a very close game against Brighton, but Brighton really dominated, but Newcastle did very well to come out with a draw. And in the third game, to be winning against Man City 3-1 before half time, I thought they were going to win that game. I feel like Man City really showed why they are steps ahead for most teams in the Premier League. And if I was Newcastle, to really put the pressure on Man City and absolutely make them sweat towards the end, were very well played from Newcastle. And I feel like this is going to be a very tough game for Wolves in my opinion. So my score prediction, I'm going to go 2-0 Newcastle. So guys, the next game we have on Sunday is Aston Villa against West Ham. And I feel like a win is very important for both teams, but I feel like a win for West Ham is very crucial. Let's start with Aston Villa. The first game of the season, they lost 2-0 to Bournemouth. It was pretty pro for Steven Gerrard and his men. The second game, they beat Everton 2-1. And then the third game, they got dominated by Crystal Palace. And it's not been a great start for Aston Villa in my opinion. Only getting 3 points from 3 games. Like, it's not the best start. I feel like Aston Villa were really going to get top 10 this year, or even Steven Gerrard and his men. Like, what are they doing? And it's not like they have not signed anyone. Yes, Diego Carlos is unfortunate that he tore his ACL and he's out for the rest of the season. But look at the quality of signing which Aston Villa have. Getting Philippe Coutinho on a permanent is impeccable in my opinion. Like, this man is very good. Like, he's quality. The likes of Leon Bailey, the likes of Danny Ings, the likes of Ollie Watkins. I don't know what to pinpoint. I feel like it's the manager's tactics. The tactics wasn't really working. Like, I don't know what Steven Gerrard's tactics really are. Like, yes, he can set up a team, he makes them work hard, but I can't really pinpoint what makes him solid at the end of the day. And with West Ham, they haven't had the best start to the season. The first game, yes, losing to Man City, it's not the worst thing to happen. Man City are like miles beyond most teams in the Premier League. They just signed Erling Haaland and they got dominated. That's understandable. In the second game is Nottingham Forest. Declan Rice missed the penalty. They missed a couple of chances. Yes, should have a Nottingham Forest player got sent off for the red card. Yes, it was unfortunate. But the third game was Brighton. They just got dominated in the London Stadium, in my opinion. Brighton were just miles ahead of them. Brighton were just putting the pressure. Graham Potter's men just know how to pass the ball. They were playing the ball very well, and I feel like West Ham really struggled in the game. This game for West Ham and Aston Villa is a must-win for both of them. Both teams have the quality to win at the end of the day. In my opinion, is which team really wants it more. Which team really wants to work for every time each team kicks the balls out, who's pressing the most, who's putting the most pressure on another team. But I feel like it's been a very close game. I feel like Aston Villa will just clinch this game with a 1-0 victory. Guys, let's move on to the last game of Game Week 4 and the last game of Sunday. We've got Nottingham Forest against Tottenham Hotspur. And Steve Cooper and his men have done pretty well. Like, Nottingham Forest have spent quite a bit of money. They recently bought Morgan Gibson-White for like 40-odd million pounds. Is he really worth the money? No. Is it just the English tax coming into play? Yes. I feel like it's a right step in a way for Nottingham Forest. Like, they've made quite a lot of signings, and is it going to help them? We have to see. But like, it could be a situation where Fulham had in 2017 where they spent over 100 million worth of players. The players just didn't click and it was just a waste of money at the end of the day. But with Nottingham Forest, they had a very good game against West Ham. Dean Anderson, the great, saved them with a penalty. And yes, was the game a bit even for Nottingham Forest? Did they get like a disallowed goal which should have been given as a goal? Should have been a net goal for Nottingham Forest? Yes. But at the end of the day, it's not Nottingham Forest's fault that they did it, that VAR was incompetent and they didn't really realize what problems were happening. But this game against Tottenham, they really need to make sure that they hold the ball as much as they can, because with Tottenham, they like giving away possession. Because the game against Chelsea had 63% of possession, and even the game against Wolves at nearly 52%. So with Tottenham, they're very one-trick pony, and the way you could overcome this game against Tottenham is to make sure you hold the ball as much as you can and keep on putting pressure on Tottenham, because we saw Southampton do that in the first game where Tottenham were just a bit lackluster and Southampton put the pressure and they got the goal. And after that, Southampton start inviting the pressure against Tottenham, and you can't be doing that with the quality which Tottenham had. They're just overrunning you. And in the second game, Chelsea did that really well. Like, Chelsea didn't give Tottenham any point of the ball, and I feel like with Chelsea, that game Tottenham should have really lost, in my opinion. Chelsea played impeccable, and it was once again VAR. And in the third game, Wolves really put the pressure on Tottenham Hotspur with holding the ball, with really Tottenham work for the ball. And I feel like Tottenham will really struggle with that. And everyone knows they're a one-trick pony right now. So in order for Nottingham Forest to win, they need to hold the possession of the ball. And then with Tottenham, all these games, they've really come up with victories and draws where they shouldn't. Like in the first game, yes, they dominated Southampton. In the second game, Chelsea should have really won. And the third game, Wolves really put the pressure right to the end, and I feel like that game could have been easier draw. And I feel like if Tottenham really want to win this game, they need to start having more possession of the ball and start counter-attacking more. And I feel like that's the only way they're going to beat Nottingham Forest. I feel like Tottenham will get this victory, but it'll be another close 1-0 victory for Tottenham against Nottingham Forest. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. These are my game week 4 predictions. I know you might be thinking some of my predictions are off, but please, guys, put all your predictions in the comment section below. I really want to know what you guys think for all the games. So guys, please like, subscribe, comment, do the usual. Please share it to your friend. I'm like doing every game week prediction. Yes, I missed the first game week, but that game week I was doing something else. I'm sorry about that, but guys, please like, subscribe, comment, do the usual, and I'll see you later.